Hey everybody, how you doing? Thank you for joining us for Tools, Techs, and Apps on BSN Live with Ben and Maddie. Today we're going to talk about a little bit deeper about the Facebook Live, why we're doing it, how Facebook values the Facebook Lives, and how you can be doing it more for your business. And we're going to start right now. Hey, I like that. I like that. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Welcome to BSN Live with Ben and Maddie. Glad to have you here. Ben right next to me, as you can see, and hey, I got it right on pointing today. Hey, give me 10 points. Today is TTA, as you just heard Ben say, Tools, Tech, and Apps. Talking about the tools that we use in our business, whether it's physical or digital. The technology, whether it's desktop, I use video tools, stuff like that, what tools you're using, and then the apps you're using mobily. So that's the theme of the show today. Ben, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. Having a great day. We're having just an interesting conversation about Facebook Live and some of the things that we've been doing with Facebook and the power of that connection with the Facebook Live.
So today's tools, tech, and apps, right, guys? There's a new feature that just came out. We're gonna start talking about this and really pushing it more and more with you guys. Is the new Messenger updates that are happening and the new live video update that is happening, where you can bring a guest into your live. That is a powerful tool, man. I'm telling you right now. I've been testing it, but there's some things that are good. There's some good things and some bad things. And I've been discussing with Maddie about when we do the live video, and there is some little things that you have to figure out and work when you bring a guest in. There's a timing issue because you do have to call the person. You have to let the person know. And I'm not sure people are getting a notification when you tag them or you invite them. So that takes a little time. So you might have some lag there. So you have to be a little bit good at going, hey guys, how are you? And then have your friend. But also too, there's been some things that I've noticed, and Matt's going to talk about those because I've been discussing with him about just some of the frustrations and some of the great things. And so what we do is we go out and dig, and for some reason that information follows us. It's so crazy when you're working on it. Then all of a sudden I think like Matt sends me this text and he goes, man, look at this guy's closing funnel. This is what he's going to do a webinar. And look what he points out. And this is kind of the same. I'm like, wow, that works great. So I'm going to leave it to you, Matt. I'm going to let you talk about that because there's like that speaker issue, but what are some great pointers when you're doing a live video, when you're doing the Facebook Live, anytime, whatever. So go ahead, man, go, because you read it, you sent it to me, and I said, let's bring that up.
You got it. I agree with you. Thank you. I thought it was a great topic for the show as well. Yesterday, I signed up for a webinar. One of my mentors in my group brought a gentleman in to speak with us about his follow-up system and things like that. So he practices what he preaches, and he followed up with me with his system, and he got me to sign up for the webinar because I was interested. He dropped little nuggets along the way to keep me kind of like it was a Hansel and Gretel or something, when you follow the breadcrumbs to lead somewhere. That's kind of what I did, and I signed up for the webinar. So as I finished with the webinar registration, it sent me to the confirmation page. So whenever you sign up for something, you notice whenever you buy something or if you do buy that webinar, whatever, they send you to a confirmation page. And this wasn't just a, hey, thanks very much, have a great day, bye-bye, and here's my website. What I really liked about this, which stood out to me huge, is the way this speaker set the tone for his webinar. And that was huge to me. He had 7 different points, and I pulled up my phone a moment ago to invite people into the group. So I'm going to try and pull that up here in just a moment again, quickly. But as I'm talking, one of the major points that he talked about was coming in with a learner's mentality. So adapt that for a live video a little bit and come in with intentionality or something, or know what the live video is going to be about, set your tone of your environment, communicate, hey, this is the expectation of what we're speaking about. So that way, when you bring your guest on, they know what the tone of the conversation is. You know what I mean? So in this one was, hey, you're coming to my webinar. I'm asking you to keep a learner's mentality. I just pulled it up right now. You want to eliminate your distractions. So when you're doing webinars, or if you're doing a live video, you want to eliminate those distractions from you. That's the first thing that he says, setting the tone. Another thing, bring a notepad and a pen. That doesn't apply really here to the Facebook Live, but if you are doing something as a webinar, again, bring the learner's mindset, bring an intentionality mindset with you to the live. You know, again, set the tone with your guest. Hey, this is what my audience is used to hearing, or what they're here for this group, so they know what they're speaking of. And really, that was the biggest thing for me. And then setting the appropriate amount of time. This is a really big deal, because once you start, you know, you plan for a 15-minute conversation, maybe it expands. Like Ben and I always start spinning off into 5 different things. That's why I know in my schedule, we're doing this live at 7:30. I know that I have nothing scheduled. So that way I have an hour and a half to do this with us as a group, and then generally have some conversation afterwards. But I allow myself the time without getting pressed and letting my mind wander, because I'm stressed out about making my next appointment.
Yeah, those are all like excellent points. So we need to, you know, address those things. Go ahead.
I forgot the last one. I'm sorry, Ben, before I go off this, the last thing was also huge. When they sent the confirmation, like, hey, keep an eye out for the 4 items of value prior to the event. So now I'm looking in my emails, okay? That's huge, because email connectivity in my mind is a huge problem. These email providers are already scaling down the amount of emails that are getting delivered. So you want to connect people to your email, and that was huge for me. And I've been trying to figure out in my follow-up systems, connecting people to their email, and that was huge. So connect people somehow to you when you're doing things, when you're doing lives. Hey, check my page out for the 3 things I just did a video on last week about blah, blah, blah.
Those are all excellent points. And those are going to be all, when you start going up to this, like when you start doing like the meetings like we're doing. So you have to communicate those in a subtle way, or a direct, actually not even subtle. I wouldn't even recommend it, direct way.
This was very direct, and I appreciated that.
Be direct, yeah, and you have to appreciate that. So when people jump on your live with you, you know, you can ask these things, and you can say, hey, do you mind? You can ask them the question. Those are the correct questions to ask. Like, hey, are you in the appropriate? You know, is everything going to be okay where there's no distractions, or are you in an area where before you start talking? You know, because that's the thing though. You can be ready to go, and then that person, if they're just wasting, I wouldn't want to say wasting time. Maybe I'm just saying that they're just not
mindset, or not in the correct situation.
Not aware. Some people will be. I don't know. But the things they have to be aware. Because your time is valuable. We always talk about time, you and I. You have to manage your time is a tool. I think we have to learn. That's one of the most valuable tools. So when you're doing these lives, when Maddie are doing these lives, we set a time. We're not distracted. Everything's closed up. I have the window closed. You know, the doors. So we don't want. All the microphones are very sensitive, right? So if I hit and I made those mistakes, we have all made those. We banged it. Oh man, so mistakes are gonna happen. You're never gonna have a perfect live. So don't think that you're gonna like start doing these all perfect, right? It takes time.
I just left my door open. I forgot about my door. You know, I ran in here, left my door open.
Exactly. So that's we want you guys to see what we're doing, how we're practicing, how we're learning the mistakes and the positives. But I'm going to tell you right now, the live tool, the one-on-one interaction that Maddie and I have, when I go out, I'm doing the lives one-on-one, and I'm pushing Matt now. I'm telling people to have one-on-one conversations with Matt. If you guys use the Facebook, set up a time with Matt and practice these conversations and practice this, because this is so powerful. man, I didn't realize how powerful those were. I mean, it's powerful here, but now when you get like someone like yourself, or you have a conversation with someone, take advantage of that time with somebody. Man, you gotta learn it. Facebook Live, that's a powerful tool in Facebook right now.
And the reason it's powerful, everybody, is number one, people are going to see your authenticity. You know, you're out there, you're live, you're connecting, they're seeing your personality. But Facebook loves live. Facebook algorithm loves the live button. Yes, you can record these videos, you can polish them up a little bit, you can put your little graphic on it, and you can post it to Facebook. If you do the video theme or whatever as a live, I wish I could guarantee you, but I'm going to almost guarantee you you're going to be exponentially shown throughout the algorithms because it's a live video, just a live alone. And then the more consistent you are with the live, the algorithms are going to pick that up. That's why we're doing 7:30 in the morning. That's why I post this at YouTube, and it sets to premiere at 10 o'clock every single night. Consistency.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I just the live feature is very, very powerful. I don't know. There's so much that we can dive into it, and that's why if you're having challenges, if you don't feel confident in yourself, set up a time with myself and Maddie, and let's have a conversation. Let's do it. Send me a DM. My goal is to do one a day with somebody. But our time is valuable, so we have to schedule that time in. So, Matt, if I'm not available, send Maddie a message and have a conversation. And as we can see, it's just like as easy as us, what we're doing. And we want you to practice these, because these are the things that are going to make us better. And you're watching us every week. And if you watch our playbacks when we first started to today, man, it's a different game. Every single day we're trying to get better and better and better, and we want you to see that. We're normal people. There's nothing. I'm gonna speak for myself, but I'm not anything special, man. I see myself as a strong person, a strong mindset. I am goal oriented, but the thing is, though, I had to develop that. We all had to develop that, right? We had to do a lot of sacrifices.
Well, yeah, it takes a lot of experience to get that way too. A lot of getting kicked in the teeth.
A lot of getting kicked in the butt, right? A lot of kick in the butt. I was reading. I've seen a lot of videos or seen a lot of articles where people that are high functioning people, right? And I read those 7 Habits of Effective People.
Oh, yeah.
I even got the 7 Habits, but I read that book, right? But I'm sure one of them's getting up early in the morning.
There's an old, I want to say he's an old devil dog Marine that General talks about his greatest accomplishments. The number one thing he does, make his bed in the morning. Sets the tone. Exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. So you have to set the tone for yourself. And number one, and I think another thing too, man, is if we're going to talk about tools, I know we're going to text and apps, but we have to go back to the excuses. You got to find a way. If there's a tool out there that doesn't help you, I don't know if there's an app out there, but if you guys know if there's an app where there's an excuse app, because every time you get shocked when you make an excuse, they should create that.
It comes right through the phone and just
zaps you, right? I wish they had that app, right? So, and we're talking about this. We're talking about like, hey, hey, come to a meeting. Let's have a conversation. And you're like, oh, I don't know. I got this. I got to do that and this and that. Those are excuses, guys. Or, hey, it's time to wake up in the morning. And what time are you usually waking up? 9 o'clock? Okay, great. Well, why don't you wake up at 8 o'clock or 7:30? An hour earlier. No, I really like my sleep and I want to get up. And come on, those are the.
You gotta have that desire has to overcome that excuse.
Exactly. Or, hey, have you read this book? Oh, no, I'm reading right now. I'm reading this romance novel, and I'm really into it. Come on.
There's nothing wrong with all that stuff. But you know what? If you're striving and you're trying to achieve and you're trying to build, I'm sorry. I put a lot of those things behind me when I got into owning my own business. I stopped doing a lot of the things that I want to do. There's parties that I went to on weekends that I missed. that you miss, that everybody is missing. If you want to have it, yes, you're going to go to the, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to be isolated. I don't think you mean that either. But you have to put your dedication in. You have to say, hey, I'm not going to make an excuse. Instead of making an excuse, make the reason. It's so much easier to make an excuse. But hey, you know, like Ben just said, hey, I'm going to commit to do this. Hey, I got it in bed. I know I have time. I know I'm overcommitted. I know I love to say yes to everybody. But at the same time, if I make a commitment, I'm going to do it. So now I'm saying, yes, I'm going to go live one time a week. Stretch yourself. Instead of finding, find the reason to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to have goals. You got to write that. You got to write that down. So guys, I'm not here to beg you guys, but I'm giving you. I feel like I'm Paul Revere. I've been Paul Revere for the past couple since I started Buy Something Network.
Goes along with all the love, right?
I'm Paul Revere, and I'm like, hey guys, if you're in sales, if you're in business, if you are in it for yourself to create, you're out there creating your income, you have to maximize social media. You have to maximize the Facebook Live. You have to know how to create your own content. And what's happening right now, and if you're watching in the world that's happening today, business, the employee, right, is disappearing, man. They're disappearing. People are out. That's why so many people are going into entrepreneurship. They want to start their own business. And you need to promote yourself before you start promoting your business. You know how to talk to, and Facebook Live is a great way to give your message. And you don't have to be perfect. The thing is, though, you have to practice to be perfect or to be better, right? So that's kind of like the message I want to share with people, because it's happening right now in our world. They're going to be hiring a lot of people back, but computers, the robots,
they're figuring out how to automate everything, put systems into place. I mean, let's just, my son's favorite place in the world to be is McDonald's. You know, you go in there and you have a screen you can order now. You know, they're doing things. That's just the world of today. The technology has just been on a bullet train forward, just improving. And where is that going to leave people with different skill sets? People with a retail skill set where they can be replaced with a robot. Now, what are you going to do to shift that? You know, that's really what you're talking about, because it's going that way.
And my message, and if it's my passion, and I've done these videos before where I've been on the strip, man. I'm in luxury retail, and I understand there's a lot of boutique shops, a lot of retail shops, and my message is always to the retail people out there. Eventually, your jobs are going to be replaced by websites. Your commission's going to be taken away. They're not going to come back and pay you what you were getting paid before. The leases to those places are very, very expensive. So I was around when there was just the small business owner that had shops in there. Now it's all corporations, and corporations don't want to pay you there. No. So I've seen people get into the side hustle. People do want to have their own side business. People do want to go into real estate or whatever it is, or making money. But things are they're okay to talk to people in their store. They're in their little world. But when it comes out and talking to out there in the outside world, that's where it's going to get a little scary. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's scary at first, but once you're there, now you're bringing that world that you were so comfortable with out here. And you can be you don't have to worry about HR on your
right there.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about HR on your back. You don't have to worry about the guy next to you talking crap to you. You know what I mean? It's now you're out there expressing you're showing what you're up to. It doesn't matter what you're selling, but you have to use the live feature video, man. Is so.
And you know what? Those computers are not going to be able to replace is the human connection. People are going to remember how you make them feel. People are going to remember, I forgot what the quote was, but what is it? The shine of the discount is quickly washed away with the dissatisfaction of service or something. So if you can connect with people and you can make them feel good, you can deliver value to them and explain your product, how it's going to be a problem. you are going to excel in this, in your business. A lot of people can't, and that's what it is. Annette in our group, who's probably watching right now, check her out because she's talking about a book called Human Connection right now, and that is huge. Ben is a master at that because I remember the first time he called me right out of the blue on Facebook. When we first talked, he called me, he picked up his phone, we first connected, and right out of the blue, because he's comfortable, he's confident in what he's got to say. So in your business, you'll pick up the phone if you know what to say. So you'll get on the line if you know what to say. So get confident in us, help us, practice as well, and let's help you practice your message about your business.
I'm going to make a guess on this, but I think we really, people have really got into the text messaging and really separated.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, guys, text message is great. I trust me, I closed a lot of sales on text message, and that's a great tool. But this whole, like, people want a way to connect with other people because of what. Every morning, I wake up in the morning. When we talk about feeling, right? We are, me and Matt. I know I feel good after this conversation with you, right?
Every time we stick around for a minute, we talk, because this is a great conversation.
We talk. This is what happened. Well, I feel great, and I start applying things. I start applying, or start searching for more information, or I start looking at my notes. Now, if you are if you're a home business owner, if you have, I don't care what you're selling, you can do the same with your customers, your clients, your team. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to you can have a conversation with them and really start help and showing some value with your product or your whatever you're doing. And people are going to really connect to you. They're going to watch the playback. They're going to see it. And people love that feeling. They're going to share it. How many times when we have one-on-ones with people, they share it, they repost it.
It keeps being posted again.
It gets tags. People they'll go into the comments and have questions, and we have to answer. So we really love that engagement. That's why we always talk about the engaging, creating the value, and making the connection. And that's where very powerful. And then now you're going to have a friend for life. You're going to have someone that's going to maybe friend request you. They're going to go into your Facebook group. They're going to be following you just because you are a real person. And people, I think I'm really sick of all the fake people. I'm sick of the fake stuff that's happening out there on social media.
How much fake stuff comes at you every day? Because you send it to me, you send screenshots to me, and we're laughing.
Yeah, we laugh at them, and we see all that, and people want real people, and we're real, right? How many? And we
relate to.
Yeah, we want connections. So that's cool. I think, and there's going to be a shift in social media. That's why Facebook groups are so powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's everyone's able to speak their own language in Facebook groups.
I spend more time, I notice, personally in the groups versus my regular feed.
Sure.
My regular feed, and it kind of comes through well, but I like to go into the groups because I'm having more conversations. I told my wife, hey, I joined a foodie group the other day, and she fell over because I don't like to cook. So I took pictures of a cheesecake that we got to us last night. Love you, Gabby. And I wanted to post it there just because I just like the conversation to people. That's what it's about.
Yeah, no one really. So I don't be surprised that Facebook's going to change it, where eventually you're not going to have your feed anymore. It's not going to be everyone. It's going to be you're just going to have
You're interested in groups,
and there doesn't really matter. You're going to have your choice, and that's going to be it's going to be your group or your things that you're liking or you're enjoying or your whatever.
It's evolving forward, especially with the ability for business pages to join groups too. You hit the nail on the head. They wouldn't spend $5 million per commercial spot at the Super Bowl if this wasn't something they've been researching and putting into motion.
Yeah. So that's the thing, and groups are developing, and there is a science to it, and maybe we'll do next Tuesday. We'll do some group tips on how to create groups. We can talk about that next week. And now, guys, me and Matt will bust out the formula for you guys. We'll talk about like all the strategies and what it is, because we do have a lot of people that want to create groups. And if you pay attention to Matt, how many people do you have in your We Got Your Back group right now? How many?
1730 or something like that.
1730, but amazing people, man. These are amazing people. You're growing your group. You have an audience. You have people there that are meeting you every day, and this group is consistently growing. And the thing with Matt, his group is very, very active. Buy Sell Network is a very active group. There's a reason why the group is very active. We have Live the Good Life. This one's I've been slowly built. It's almost 2,000. We have Live the Good Life in Las Vegas, which is almost at almost 1,600 members. But we're very selective. And we'll talk about that later, you guys, because I know a lot of
the strategy, the setup, and all that. Absolutely.
Way of doing it. But I'm going to tell you right now, the cherry on top, the whole, whatever, I don't know what you call it, the base is the live videos.
100%. I agree. I wasn't doing them as much before we had met, and obviously I'm doing them more. I used to do them in the past, and I didn't understand the power of it. I did all on the personal page. I didn't do things right. That's again why we do this. I wasn't doing it right before. Now I've searched out. I'm seeking the right info, and I'm just trying to give it to you and what I feel and believe is right. And Ben really showed me a lot of things on groups. So, you know, the shows that we're going to do talking about groups, Ben is a master at getting these set up. I mean, he's set up multiple groups with thousands of people. So we'll go ahead and get those things set up. Man, what a great conversation. Again, we could go for hours and hours and hours, but we're going to do a Facebook groups another day. Yeah,
Tuesday, tools, text, and app, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There's so much information. We can go out there and but we value the time. We value your time. I value Maddie's time. When I talk to him, when I call him, when I text him, when he sends me messages, his time, I know he's a busy man, and I value that. So appreciate people's time. Yeah, I appreciate the time when people make time. And if you need help with your live video, if you want to go on live and you're afraid to go by yourself, because I know I've been there. It's hard to go that you don't know what to talk.
Hit me up. I talk too much.
Yeah, we send us a message. We'll help you out. We can have a little conversation. I can ask you questions. I'm not afraid, guys. But respect the time. Respect. You know, we talked about the speaker. We talked about going to quiet place.
Yep.
Don't do it behind the freeway. If you live behind the freeway, don't go behind.
Totally. And then coming in with you know the intentionality mindset or the learner's mindset. I think those were all some great tips. And you know what? I've been practicing doing the copy now. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm trying to now do the copy for the post. Ben's having me stretch a little bit. So I'm going to add a lot of the copy that we talked about of these tips directly into this post title. Remember, we're on YouTube now. I think these episodes are set to premiere at 10 p.m. every night. So check us out on YouTube if you like consuming content there. And I'm also on Anchor FM. We are also on Anchor FM there as well if you like to podcast. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. A half hour with us every morning means the world to me, and I hope it's as valuable to you guys as well. Sound good?
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good day. Enjoy it. And what does Matt say?
Everybody out there, remember, slay the day, folks. Take care, everybody.